Good morning. My name's Ray Festa.
And I'm Andy Tupper.
Today we're going to be doing the second in a series of 3 videos regarding the irrigation system here at the demonstration garden, the Garden of the Seven Sisters. And what we're going to focus on today is 4 examples of typical irrigation leaks that Andy and I get calls on from lead gardeners saying we've got a leak in the garden, we've got a problem, and we're going to show you what those situations are and how you can remedy them yourself without giving us a call. We want to emphasize the importance for the plot leaders to regularly inspect their irrigation system when it's in the on position. Drip irrigation systems are highly efficient, but they're also high maintenance. There's lots of parts involved, lots of little tubing, emitters that can get blown off. So if we don't inspect our systems regularly, there are going to be irrigation breaks that happen that go unchecked, and we're going to lose a lot of water. So in our third video that we're going to actually get into irrigation timers, we're going to show you how to activate a manual start. But for today, I just want to emphasize the importance of regularly inspecting your irrigation systems in the on position.
If you find a leak in the garden, the first thing you want to do is shut the water off as close to that leak as possible, and that's usually, or almost in all cases, a ball valve similar to this. You only turn it 90 degrees to turn it off. It's on right now because it's parallel with the pipe. When you turn it off, it's now closed and it's across the pipe just like a dam across a brook.
Okay, we're going to start here with the first situation, and this is where we have a drip happening at the irrigation timer. And we see this quite often because these irrigation timers actually have a swivel joint here, and when people are working on them, either setting the time or adjusting them to put the cover, the box over the top, these timers get moved, which affects this joint. So we have a ball valve here that's before the irrigation timer. So we just do 1/4 turn, and there's arrows on the top that says close this way. So I'm going to turn this 1/4 turn, and that will close the water. And then we're going to go to this nut here, and we're just going to hand tighten it and hold the timer so it doesn't turn. And sometimes you'll actually have to use a slip pliers like this, which is in the tool shed, in the dirty shed, and you can take those pliers if you're not strong enough and just put them on here and tighten them, not terribly tight, but snug that up. And then we're going to go back to the ball valve and we're going to turn that back on to see if the drip has disappeared. Okay, so I'm going to open my ball valve 1/4 turn, following the arrows that are on the handle. And now we have pressure going through and we have no drip. So we've tightened it just tight enough so the drip is gone. Looks good. Sometimes when we're out digging in the garden, we see these 1/4-inch tubes that they may be buried, and we inadvertently, when we're working a shovel, will cut a tube. And I'm going to do that right now to show you what this looks like. So now we have a lot of water flowing, so what are we going to do about it? First thing we have to do is shut the water off. So that's to go back to the timer and the ball valve and shut the ball valve off. So I'm going to take this little barb connector and I'm going to insert it into one end of the pipe, the tubing, and wiggle it in. And if you don't have enough hand strength, again, you can take the pliers and you can just wiggle it in that way until it's inserted all the way up to the seat. And then we're going to take the other end and put it on and wiggle it as you go, and just keep wiggling it until it gets to the seat there. And now we have a cut repaired.
I I just came into the orchard and I noticed that this pipe had become unconnected. So we got to get this fixed right away. Okay, so this is a typical compression fitting. And you have the 1/2-inch tubing here, and you have the fitting here. You see the little bulge here in the pipe? That's what this compresses against when you close this up. So that holds the pipe in the connection. So you insert this in here as far as it'll go. And then you turn this thing out as far as it'll go, and you should have a tight connection. Okay, I just came into the garden and I'm walking by the rain garden, and I noticed this leak here in this emitter. And the first thing I'm going to do is go shut the water off. And okay, I've shut the water off. It's not coming out anymore. Here's a replacement sprinkler head. This is a mini spray sprinkler, and I'm going to just screw it into the top of this drip tubing here. And I'm assuming it wants to go to this bush here, so now I'm going to go turn the water back on and make sure that it's working correctly. Yep, now it's not leaking. Okay, we're working in the garden and maybe we're trimming a bush and we accidentally clipped off one of the 1/4-inch emitter lines. Now we have to repair that. Maybe we don't have an emitter that we can put in there right away, so we want to stop the flow of water. This is a goof plug, and it has 2 different sizes. If you have a big hole, you can use this size. If it's just a normal hole or the 1/4-inch tubing, you use the small side. So we put that in there and we force it in as far as it'll go. I made this little thing to help push it in. And there, now it's blocked off and it won't leak. We found a section of a 1/2-inch tubing here that has a hole in it. It probably had an emitter in there one time that blew out, and now it's going to leak. So we're going to take a goof plug and we're going to insert it in that hole. No, I've got it in my little pusher here, and I'm going to push it down until it snaps in place. And then you got to watch it that you don't flatten the tube because it'll never go in there. So there it is, installed in the pipe. Now that won't leak. Okay, so you found a leak in your plot and you want to fix it, and you're looking for some tools. The tools are in this shed here, the dirty shed. So we have several boxes in here that have all kinds of different emitters, all different kinds of 1/4-inch connectors, and anything you're looking for as far as repairing your drip and your emitters. So if you want to come in here, you can look through the ends of the boxes. They're labeled, and you can hopefully find what you need.
So thank you for watching this video today. We've covered several of the typical irrigation problems that we see in the garden. We hope this video has given you some information and instilled some confidence in you that you can tackle some of these problems on your own